Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Guys Talking Sports. It's your boy Al Qualls, and I got my guest here with me, Adrian Catwell. Adrian, say what's going on, there, everybody, man.
What's going on to everybody out there? Hope y'all enjoyed your Thursday evening.
All right, we're just gonna get right into it and talk about what's been going on in the world of sports today. And you cannot, pretty much the main thing that's been going on, of course, is this whole situation with Tom Brady and about the DeflateGate. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even I'm just gonna just throw it out there and just want to get your thoughts and opinion about the whole thing with Tom Brady.
Football is a game of everybody trying to get some sort of competitive advantage against the next man or the next team. So, um, can I? Is it? What's the words? I guess I could say. I'm not shocked. I guess to say that this has happened with Tom Brady and the Patriots. They are, I guess you could say, guilty. For certain things that they might have done in the past. So I guess this type of shady activity um, is nothing new. But the crazy thing about it is it's probably a situation where more than one team probably does the same thing. I, but because it's the Patriots, um, they got their hands slapped a little bit. Do I think the 4 game suspension and $1 million fine and the loss of draft picks is a bit excessive? I think so. He's just throwing a football. Uh, does he gain some sort of competitive advantage? Maybe. It's interesting. I was listening to the Man Cave. It's on ESPN 980 down here in the DMV, the DC area. And a gentleman from the USA Today brought up a point where, some people did some investigation and they were going back from, I think, like 2006 or 8 or something like that. Don't quote me on the date. Where they were talking about lost fumbles since that time. And they said that the Patriots lost fumble rate is outstanding, astonishing, like so low. I guess, can you attribute that to the fact that their balls were slightly has slight less air than most regular teams? It's a possibility. Yeah, it makes you think when you hear that sort of a thing. It's like, wow, okay. And then on top of that, where I heard Eli Manning went and did some testing not too long ago, where he threw some balls that were readily inflated and the Tom Brady inflation of the ball, and he said there's a noticeable difference in the ball when throwing it. So, you know, is it excessive fine? Yes, but do I think it has a lot to do with the fact of with the Patriots in their past? I think yes. If they were a squeaky clean team, you might have fined Brady a game. You might have fined the Pats $100,000 and we'll call it a day. But Spygate and all the other gates, and I'm sure Hernandez was thrown into the fact of some things too, possibly. Who knows? Overall, I just think it was just the wrong team with the wrong everything going on behind them, and that's why they got the fine that they did. So I'm curious to see now that Brady's appealed how that's going to work out. But would I have been mad if it was my Niners or the Jets that have done the same thing? That would have been something. So we'll see how it
No,
all plays out.
no, I completely agree with that. But I have to say, I have to admit, I have to disagree with you in
Mhm.
regards to being it a little bit excessive. I think it's just more so the fact that if it was like the first time you heard something about the Patriots doing something wrong, then that would be a little bit more understanding. But I guess with, like you said before, with the whole Spygate and with all the other things that's been going on, and they've been fined before about that, I believe, with Spygate. So I think that was I think that was I mean, that was called into question as well. Like, this is not your first first offense.
Right.
So you have to go on the assumption that that's something that they held accountable for the Patriots. I mean, to be honest, I was saying to myself, wow, 4 games is really. To be honest, I thought it was right down the middle. I thought if anybody had a case about this being more, less lenient, would have been something like the New Orleans Saints with their whole bounty gate thing that happened, and the amount of people that got suspended for the year, and half of games, and their head coach, was out for a year. I think, like, to be honest, if anybody has a problem with it, should be the New Orleans Saints.
But I mean, in that case, it's like saying apples and oranges, in my opinion, because you're talking about the Saints who bounty gate. I'm not saying they were hitting folks to try to take them out the game, but in the same sense, the harder to hit, the better the side incentive would have been for that player. Whereas Tom Brady, he's just throwing a pass. He's not hurting nobody. Doesn't make things a little bit easier for the receivers, especially in colder games and things of that nature where the ball isn't as hard, it's easy to grip. Yeah, I think that does gain some competitive advantage. But still, on the same principle, just because you could throw a ball and the dude can catch a ball doesn't automatically mean that the team is supposed to score either. The defense still got to stop them. So it's not like they're just getting there, they're playing on the field 11-on-0 and moving the ball at will. The defense still has to do to play their part. So, I don't know. Everybody has their reasons why they don't like Tom Brady. So, I mean, am I upset that he's suspended 4 games? Nah, not at all. I'm curious to see how Jimmy Garoppolo is gonna pull off his Matt Castle-esque.
Same here, and I would not be surprised if he does very well.
Me neither.
I would not be surprised. Like, I would not be surprised if he be the #1 ranked quarterback with the highest QB rating before Brady comes back.
Exactly.
And that's similar to how that's just typical Patriots though. But I can't I respect them for that because they don't miss a beat. Even when Tom Brady went down, they don't miss a beat at all. So it definitely is interesting to see what they do. I mean, when he's out for the 4 games, or even less after the appeal process. So
it's crazy, and they when you think Patriots, you think system quarterbacks, and it's not your typical system quarterback where you think of a system running a spread offense or as a running QB trying to play QB. But now he takes pro style quarterbacks and make them a system quarterback, where I think it's just I'm sure Tom reads defenses and everything like that, but I'm sure they have particular plays that they run is just one read, toss the rock, and just be done with it. Because you saw Mike Castle, he played for a contract, got paid, and he did crap since.
That's true. That is true.
But it's just crazy. Garoppolo will probably do well. But does he want to sit behind Brady for another 3 or 4 years, knowing that he could probably run the system? He'd probably have to get traded too. So he's playing for his contract.
Yeah, I would not be surprised after those 4 games, another team, when that season is over, another team will actually look to try and grab him.
Of course, but not to understand that he's a system quarterback and probably can't run another offense as well that he can run New England's offense. But
true.
I'm just some fool who played high school football and reminisce like Al Bundy. So,
Score 4 touchdowns in a single game.
I can't even say that. I think I caused the fumble once, but
but it's gonna be interesting. Because with the AFC East being so, vastly improved, it's going to be a very interesting race over there. And I have to admit, like, that's something that I'm looking forward to. Before, it was all one-sided with the AFC East. Now, you do have some pretty good competition out of not just another team, but a couple of teams there.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how Miami's going to. Thursday. Wow. I'm curious to see how Miami's going to play, their QB situation, and they got rid of Mike Wallace, and how they're going to, Tannehill and company is going to, run the show. I'm curious about, Rexy, sexy Rexy down in Buffalo now, or up in Buffalo, and what he's going to do. His defensive-minded coach, hopefully this time around, he gets the right offensive coordinator to take the skills or to use the players that he has around him to the best of their ability, unlike what he did in New York. And I'll say this again: I am a proud alumni of West Virginia University. I'm a proud, happy fan of Eugene Geno Smith, of QB of the New York Jets. I'll probably get blasted for this, but I think he could be an excellent. Okay, maybe not excellent, but I think he could be a very good quarterback in the football league, in the NFL. But he has not been given the proper tools and the proper things around him for him to flourish, to be great. Now, I think now he has some things around him this year, and if he can't take advantage of what's going on, then, he deserves all the criticism he's going to get. But we're getting away from DeflateGate. That's just me being a homer in West Virginia.
No. By all means, no. And to be honest, I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you about this. With Geno Smith, this is now his opportunity to make the best out of it. He wasn't getting the like you said, he wasn't getting the tools he needed while Rex Ryan was the head coach. And that was something I said a long time ago. I said, look, whoever's the QB is going to have a hard time as long as Rex Ryan is the coach. Now, hopefully he changed his ways in Buffalo, but when he was with the Jets, there was no way that system with him and being was solely focused on defense. And you had the offensive coordinators that he had there was average, to say at best.
But look at it when Sanchez was the QB. He was a what kind of quarterback was he? He was a game manager, but they had a hell of an offensive line, and they had running backs that was just churning and doing their thing, and all Sanchez had to do was just hit the occasional pass. He had Braylon Edwards. He had another decent wide receiver with Braylon Edwards. He had a decent tight end. He had decent tools around him. And that's why they made it to the AFC Championship game twice, along with a hell of a defense. Of course, it was the defense that carried that team. Now, yes, did Geno show some flashes of good play? Yes. Did the Jets last year have a defense that was good enough to possibly win 5, 6, 7 games? Probably yes. Did Geno make some stupid mistakes? Hell yes. Okay, but I think now that they went ahead and acquired some offensive linemen, they went out there and got some decent receivers. Decker is nowhere at number 1, so I'm happy that they went out there and grabbed what the hell is his name? From Chicago. Can't think of the wide receiver's name at the moment. It slips my mind. They went out there. Hopefully, Jason Morrow at tight end will improve, get better. They got some running backs now. They got some decent running backs, and they also just got the kid from St. Louis, as a matter of fact, because when St. Louis drafted Gurley from Georgia, the dude requested Zach Stacy, I think his name was. This got traded from St. Louis to the Jets in this past draft. So the Jets finally got some pieces, and hopefully Geno could take advantage of the situation and do what he needs to do to be a successful quarterback in New York. If not, I'm sure that he could get another opportunity somewhere else to shine. I mean, some quarterbacks don't always do well. I mean, Alex Smith, when he was with the 49ers, had the opportunity for like damn near 8 years until he got the right coach to sit there and put him in an offense that was suited for him to make him look like he was pretty damn good.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree with that. I think it's just more of the coaches need to understand the quarterback and just make sure that the system fits that person. Whoever is your head, your head, your main quarterback, you gotta make sure that the system revolves around that quarterback. That's the only way that your team is gonna succeed offensively from that standpoint. And I think so many times, so many coaches want to implement their own system with already established quarterbacks in the league, and it doesn't mesh well with them. So
Exactly.
I think that's something that the coaches got to have to realize. And I really believe that the coaching change, some coaches will actually do that to make it. I know probably with the Jets, I put it like last season. So. But I think that that's basically, like I said, these teams now has a chance to actually improve and do the things that are necessary for them to help them win. And I really believe that there's a system in place for all the teams that's out there right now. More so now than ever, with some of the teams taking a step back. Now I have to say, even with Tom Brady starting, I don't. I mean, based on what happened, a lot of his players, the players that was there last season, they're gone now. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see how everything folds for the Patriots this season. And there's a lot of people that still support the Patriots. The Patriots Nation and everybody. All of those people. So I don't think that they completely fallen off. I just think that they may have taken a step or two back. I don't see them actually going back to the AFC Championship again, if anything, this season. Even with Tom Brady as being the main person there.
I know they lost a lot on defense. When you lose uh, Revis, and I think they lost another corner, but they got some other corners there. But um, I would not be surprised if the Patriots still won 10 or 11 games. Just because, if Garoppolo could get them to 2-2 or 3-1, which I can easily see him doing that, just because Brady can't play, or he's suspended 4 games without pay, which will probably get knocked down to 2. Yeah, I don't see them. Will they win the AFC East? Yeah, good shot. Do I see 2 teams coming from the AFC for the playoffs? It's a possibility. Miami is just one step away. If Geno can play halfway decent, and the offensive line does some numbers, I can see the Jets making a legitimate run at the AFC East. I don't see them winning it. But their defense is vastly improved. If the Jets can manage 17 to 20 points a game, I don't see why they shouldn't win every game. Hands down, easily. With the defense that they have, it's almost, when I sit here and look at what the Jets have done this past off season, it almost seems as though, just my opinion, it seems as though they almost set up Rexy to fail. Because the same players that they brought in this past offseason were the same players that never wanted to leave to begin with. That the organization, for whatever reason, just said, you know what, nah. But as soon as Rex is out the door, they're making a big push to get Revis back. They're making a big push to get Cromartie back. They're making a big push to get all these players that were once there back into the fold. So it's like Rex was almost like a lame duck coach. So,
that's something I never even thought about. That's interesting.
Yeah. Because Cromartie's wife even was like, he don't want to leave New York, but they're not trying to pay him. But as soon as Rex was gone, now
they paid him. That's interesting.
Ridiculous.
I never even. That's an interesting theory. I never even put that together. That's. You know what? I mean, you saying that, I think that's something that it holds value to, and that's something that I haven't heard anybody say. So That's an interesting theory. I really gonna have to think about that because
Yeah.
I never even thought about that to begin with. So
I mean, it just makes you wonder, why is it that they thought that Geno didn't need offensive linemen? I mean, you let good offensive linemen go. The only remaining offensive lineman I remember from their AFC Championship games with Mark Sanchez was Nick Mangold, the center. And he's
yeah,
still there, but now he's about in his 10th year. Back then he was like 5 years in the league. He was a lot younger, a lot stronger, a lot faster. Not to say that he still doesn't have, 3 good years left in him. Just it's just weird. Like, didn't want to give Rex anything, but now the new coach coming in, they really just to break the bank to get Brandon Marshall. There we go. Trying to get every possible free agent, big time, whatever, to come in, and it's like they're saying to Gino and to whomever is like, this is your year. It's either you're going to do right or it's going to be a bust.
but you have to understand that they also let go of John Idzik. And that was the reason why they wasn't putting money towards these high-priced players. So when they brought in a new GM, the GM was more of a people person. So, like, he was like, yo, whatever it takes to make the team better. So I think that was also, the Idzik and Rex Ryan combination wasn't working for them. And I think that's really what it brought down to.
Right. And I mean, still, if I'm an owner, and I see my general manager ain't doing that, I'm like, dude, look, we got this money. We damn near 30 million under the salary cap. Why aren't we spending money?
Yeah.
And as the owner, I have to sit there and say, dude, what's going on here?
Well, that was one of the reasons why everybody was saying that with the owner because like pretty much you didn't do exactly what you was trying to do to begin with. I know you was trying to save money, but it wasn't helping out the team, and the fan base wanted the owner to be gone. I think that's pretty much what is the problem with some of these teams now. No matter if it's the NFL or the NBA or the NHL or whoever. I mean, if your ownership is not making great decisions about who they bring in as GM, who they bring in as coach or wherever, it kind of defeats the purpose. And some owners are not bought into the sole aspect of just winning. As long as they're making money, I think that's all that matters to them. Speaking of that, I needed to get your take on this because I meant to ask this question. What is your thoughts on James Dolan and his hiring of Isaiah Thomas for the Liberty? Real quick, and then we're going to go. But I just want to get your quick thoughts on that.
Dude, Isaiah's track record isn't that good. So, I mean, he ran the Knicks as a coach, failed. As a GM or whatever title did he hold, failed. I believe he held the president of the CBA or well, I think whatever that franchise out in Toronto or Canada, that failed. The CBA or whatever. I think that folded. Had his opportunity in college basketball. He didn't do too well. But maybe he has an opportunity to take the Liberty to new heights. I don't know. Obviously, him and Dolan got some sort of thing going on where Dolan feels comfortable enough to rehire him in a different capacity under a different thing. It's almost like, oh, he destroyed the D League. That's what it was. Didn't Isaiah Thomas destroy the D League? Yeah. So.
Yeah, he completely destroyed the D League with that.
yeah. Not Canada. No, it's the D League. Yeah. So wow. Yeah. I don't know, man. That's questionable, but I mean that's why Dolan gets paid the big bucks. But if it doesn't work out, he can just fire him and get somebody else. So,
yeah, but I don't understand the fascination between him and James Dolan. I don't understand that at all. You know, if James Dolan already saw the writing on the wall, he's giving them plenty of opportunities. And even if so, not with the Knicks organization, the track record alone wasn't enough for him to be brought in as a president of operations. So, like I said, these owners right now, I don't know what it is about it, but if you know for a track that this person has a bad track record, you brought him in already and you fired him. So why would you bring him back as the president of operations for another team that you control? I just thought it was kind of like I don't know what's going on between them, but I just think that that's something that a lot of fans is wants answers basically. So. But that's neither here nor there. It's already 10 o'clock. So we're going to cut it off here for now. We'll talk more about this probably next week anyway. So for everybody else, this is Guys Talking Sports. I'd like to thank y'all for checking us out. Also, I'd like to thank Adrian Catwell for coming in and, sharing his opinions as well. The ace, man, I really appreciate it.
Always. And I thank everybody who takes their time out to give us a listen. Really appreciate that.
Yes, by all means, I'd like to thank everybody that listens. For those that want to continue listening and like what we do, you can click on the subscribe button, which will probably be on this lower right-hand side once I finish doing the edits. But it's on the lower right-hand side. For everybody else, all the people that had questions and comments about us, to help us improve on our programming, I really sincerely thank y'all from the bottom of my heart because a lot of times we do this and we just do this for fun. But then at the end of the day, for you to voice your opinions to show how much, we can do things to make it better, it shows how much you guys care about us. And for that, I'd like to say thank you, really from the bottom of my heart. For everybody else, you can catch Guys Talking Sports every week. One of these days out of the week we do it. But when we do it, usually we put it out there and let everybody know. But for everybody, please check us out. If you like us, subscribe to us. If you want, by all means, shoot us an email, or if we have an email, but shoot us tweets, Twitter feeds. We're on Google Plus, Facebook. Any post that I put out there about this, please, if y'all have comments, please feel free to share with us. Share us on YouTube as well. Again, this is Guys Talking Sports. We're probably going to continue talking more about this whole NFL thing and coaches thing sometime next week. But for now, I'd like to say take care and talk to y'all later.
All right. Have fun out there.
Later.
Later.